Hi, this is Thresden. Welcome to a walkthrough of Elder Scrolls Online, the Greymoor edition. I'm going to start off with a level 1 character, and I'm going to level him all the way up to 50, mostly in Western Skyrim, doing quests in Western Skyrim. We'll also do some core game dungeons, some battlegrounds, crafting, things like that. So it's going to be the complete experience of Elder Scrolls Online, but the newest edition, the Greymoor edition. Alright, so let's start with the cinematic.
Hey, you're finally awake. We just crossed the border. I've heard strange things have been happening since I was away. Even so, it's good to be back home. Back in Skyrim. It's always something.
These two. Take them to the barrel.
Take them to the barrow. So it begins. As with all Elder Scrolls Online games, we'll start off the game in some kind of prison or jail, as usual. Alright, let's get the character started. I want to create a Breton, because they're really good with magic, and I want to make this I'm going to name him Thresdens with 2 S's. I want to create a Nightblade, a Magicka Nightblade. And so I think a Breton will be good for that. Bretons come from High Rock. They're members of the Daggerfall Covenant. And I'm going to randomize the appearance, which is what I always do, because I don't want to spend a bunch of time in character creation. I want to get on into the game. Just keep randomizing until I find somebody that I think I like. Alright, that's fine right there. Alright, looks like I have already used this name. Alright, let's try Thresden Sword. I'm sure I haven't used that. The reason it gives me the option to skip the tutorials because I just played the tutorial. Actually, I didn't play the tutorial. I don't know why it gave me the option to skip it. Maybe because I played the tutorial in the previous expansion.
Is someone out there? I could use your assistance. I'm quite trapped in here.
Alright, so we're locked in the prison. There's a recipe for beer. You can always use that.
My thanks. Hear me out if you want to escape this place.
And here's the vampire guy we saw in the cart. He's not looking too good.
You were on the cart. I saw you before those witches caught us and tossed me in this stone box. Glad you're finally awake. Apologies for my ghastly appearance. I'm not feeling my best.
Where are we?
Our precise location, I can only speculate. Somewhere in Western Skyrim, I suppose. I was involved in my own investigation when the Ice Reach Coven Witch attacked. We can escape, but I desperately need your help first.
Help with what?
The witches must have stashed my belongings nearby. Among them is a small flask. I can open the cell door. Once I do, I need you to retrieve that flask for me. I'll be too weak. And until I have it, you're in significant danger.
What do you mean?
I swear, I intend you no harm. If I don't get that flask back, however, my intentions won't matter. Retrieve it, and we'll break out of here together.
Open the door and I'll get your flask.
Don't be afraid. This may be jarring, but it's a necessary part of the plan. You're free. Please, hurry and retrieve my flask.
Alright, I'm going to try to loot as much stuff as I can, because once we get to the nearest city, we'll be able to deconstruct some stuff and level our crafting skills. By the way, I have done a walkthrough of the standard edition of ESO as well. I'll put that in the description below the video so that you can watch that if you're interested. See if there's anything valuable over here. Jasmine, ginkgo, clear water. We can use that to make potions. There's Fenoria's flask.
Did you find it? Give it to me. Yes, that's better. Thank you. I could feel my control slipping away. Yes, that was blood. But I swear there's no cause for alarm. Not every vampire is a monster. I'm part of a group that only drinks from willing donors. We regulate the actions of less scrupulous vampires.
What is this group you belong to?
I belong to House Ravenwatch, one of the noble houses of Rivenspire. We adhere to the teachings of our founder, Count Verandis Ravenwatch. We take no blood by force. We help those in need, and we curtail the actions of more hostile vampires.
Western Skyrim is a long way from Rivenspire. My character would know this because he's actually from High Rock, and Rivenspire is actually part of High Rock.
We go where we're needed. I was investigating a burial site in Bankarai when I discovered smugglers stealing ancient remains. I followed the trail, ran into the witch, and... well, you know the rest. Now, we need to get out of here.
And you have a plan for that?
Sort of. I regained enough of my senses when they carried me in here to remember the way out. It's pretty straightforward. I'll guide the way if you defend us from anyone who blocks our path. If we work together, I'm certain we can escape.
Lead the way.
Follow closely. You never know what's wandering around in these old barrows. I wonder why the witches are storing all these things. See if you can find a weapon. I'll grab something more suited to my skills.
Alright, now that I'm going to put on. Give me a little bit better armor. Don't want to use a shield. I'm not even going to use these homespun shoes yet. They don't give me magicka or anything. Later on, we'll want to start using light armor instead of this heavy armor, because we'll get better passives from it. But now it really doesn't matter, so I'm just going to wear the heaviest armor I can. Eventually we're going to run out of inventory space, but I'm going to try to take as much as I can, because all of it will be useful once we get to town. See if he says anything different.
This place. Does all this equipment belong to the people buried here? If you can find a weapon, I believe it will benefit us.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking. Alright, there's a weapon right there. Great sword. Not the best for a future Magicka character, but oh well, it'll do for now. We just need something we can hit the enemy
that looks
with.
Dangerous enough. Now come on, this way.
What are you two doing out? Ergala still has need of you.
That's the brute who threw us in our cell. We have to get past him.
I'll put you two milk drinkers back in your cage.
The only way out is through him. I'll support you from back here. Strike.
Right, now this is going to teach us how to fight. You left click to light attack.
But you can't withstand this.
Right click to block.
He's off balance.
When somebody's off balance, do a heavy attack, knock him down like that.
Defend yourself. Hit him.
Oh, charge a heavy attack.
Lock that attack. Strike back.
Get block what you can't see.
Break free from that stun.
Stunned me. You hold both
Break free, my friend.
the right and left clickers to break out of the stun.
Another heavy attack. Press your advantage with the heavy attack. Interrupt the attack. Interrupt that strike.
Time to end this!
Finish him off. The smell of blood is overwhelming. We should.
All right, we got to level 2, and because I want to be a Magicka character, I'm going to put a point into Magicka. By the way, this character class, I'm not sure if I said it, but a Nightblade is kind of like a cross between. If it's a Magicka Nightblade, it's kind of like a cross between a sorcerer and a rogue or a thief. So I want to get Strife. Here it is. Steal an enemy's life force, dealing 1,519 magic damage, and healing you or a nearby ally for 50% of the damage inflicted every 2 seconds for 10 seconds.
You handled yourself well. Not sure I would have made it past that savage without your assistance. We'll be out of these crypts soon enough.
Alright, yeah, let's get out of here. Even when our inventory is full, we'll still be able to loot items. It just depends on...
More weapons. Grab anything you think might be useful.
Depends on whether we've already got the item in inventory, because many items will stack in one inventory slot. Alright, and here's lots of gear. First thing I want to do is see if there is a destruction staff. Because that's what we need. There's an Inferno Staff. Perfect. Let's see what else we can loot here. All this stuff, this is all metal. We can break it down and level a blacksmithing skill with it.
The witch's attack left me.
Only problem is he's getting in the way. Might even be able to wear some of this too.
The witch's attack left me nearly senseless.
Actually, I think I will listen to what he says there.
The witch's attack left me nearly senseless. But I recall that I was dragged this way. You take the lead, and I'll help you the best I can.
Alright. Ain't nothing in there. Let's see, is there anything else I can wear? See if we've got a waste item. Like a sash. Something like that. No, I don't see it. Alright, that's okay. We'll get one in town or whatever.
Frostbite spider. Kill it, my friend!
Now that we've got an ability, we can light attack weave. I'll hit an ability, and then light attack, hit the ability, light attack.
Door ahead. You go first.
Oh, one thing I want to change right away is this combat display. I want these to always show. And scroll down here and show buffs and debuffs. So now at the bottom of the screen you can see my abilities. So actually I don't need to be spamming Strife really. I can just hit an enemy once and then just light attack.
Over here! We're almost to the exit. Quick, hide. Look up on the bridge.
As you'll see, the storm's effects will be quite devastating.
As long as everything is ready for the first harvest of Gaia, I will be pleased.
As you can see, I hit control to sneak.
Curious. Let's talk for a moment.
By the way, if you played this game lots before and you wonder why I'm explaining everything, there's a lot of new players that get interested in ESO every time there's a new chapter like this, so I try to explain everything in these walkthroughs.
That was Urgala, leader of this branch of the Ice Reach Coven. She's the witch who locked us in the barrow. The others take their orders from her.
Who is she talking to?
I'm not sure, but I believe he's one of my kind. They mentioned a devastating storm. We need to find out exactly what they have planned. My apologies, but we're going to have to postpone our escape.
Alright, you want to follow those two?
We'll make an investigator out of you yet. I need to figure out how those stolen remains, the Ice Reach Coven, and that vampire are connected. Let's catch up to Urgala and her guest, and see what we can find out.
Alright. And inventory is full.
We should be able to catch up with Matron Urgala through here.
Okay, can't take that because it takes up an entire slot. There's some coins. Yeah, I already tried that. That I can take.
Witches and their servants are everywhere. We could sneak through if you wish to avoid more battles.
I don't want bait anyway. Homespun sash I could actually use. Let's get rid of this shield. Let's take this sash. said we could sneak to avoid battle, but the truth is, these blood things are blocking the way. Don't have any flour. Alright, let's look at the map. So we gotta go around the corner here. See if he says something different here.
Sometimes you have to throw caution to the wind and go where the investigation leads you. Let's catch up to Matron Ergala and see what we can learn.
Alright. Said something a little bit different.
They should be just up ahead. Hurry!
These books, this is a lore book here. You find them all over the place. Eventually, you've read them and they just pop up everywhere. I'm not going to read the lore books when we encounter them in this walkthrough, but they're fun to read if you have time to read them. Give a lot of background lore about the game.
Look, the sky! What have they done? We must reach that clearing!
Alright, let's do it. If you notice, that mob had this red triangle in front of him. Whenever that happens, you have to get out of it because he's about to do something that causes a bunch of damage. Not quite sure what is over here. Oh, it's just an alternate path. We need to go over here towards the storm.
The tailor sewed this much too tight.
There's a bow, some boots. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with those shoes right now. It's not like I've got any enchantments to put on it or anything. And at this point, wearing lighter armor is just that. It's just lighter armor.
The ritual improves with every iteration.
The ritual improves with every iteration. Not good. Alright, so these are apparently our Reachmen. Reachmen are people from the Reach. They're like really savage Nords, basically. I mean, they don't really consider themselves to be Nords, but they're like Nords, but from a savage area.
Door up ahead. Looks like the way up to the clearing. This place is thick with Coven members. Be on your guard.
Yeah, I see that. Should be getting close to the top of the ruin now.
You'd think with all the truly bizarre events of my life, not much would unnerve me. Yet an enormous arcane storm roiling in the sky still manages to do the trick. If we hurry, we can find the source.
Alright, I'm hurrying. I was wondering maybe that was a cooking fire. Maybe I could make some food there. But can't be that easy. Let's see, is there anything over here? Schemer.
Must train hard for the upcoming battles.
If you notice, by the way, since I've got this ability on my hotbar, the ability is gaining experience, and the skill line itself, siphoning, is up to level 3 now. So the more different skill lines, the more different abilities you put on your hotbar, the more different skill lines you level up. And as you gain levels, you can unlock all of these other abilities right here. Like, in this case, Malevolent Offering, Cripple. I'll get these at higher levels if I can level up that particular skill line.
Bring me more ale to warm my bones.
If I can gain another level, I'll slot a skill from a different skill line. Let's see how far I've got. Well, I'm about halfway to level 3 now. But once I do that, I'll start gaining experience for both skill lines. Guess I could have heavy attacked right there since it was off balance, but oh well. Trying to see if there's any more loot here. Wait, is that an actual urn? No.
The storm ritual is a thing of beauty, Nogala. I'll be in touch after the harvest.
We finally made it.
Maybe that will stop the storm from growing.
You escaped. No matter, for soon all of Skyrim will fall! Your efforts mean nothing. The harvest will succeed.
Somehow that pike is involved. Destroy it, quickly!
Alright, this pike. Gotcha. I'll destroy it.
You did
No,
it.
no.
The storm was dissipated.
Need the Solitude locket. That will give me 880 extra maximum health.
I wish we could have learned more before we killed Matron Nogala. I still don't understand what the Coven has planned. And it's the not knowing that worries me.
We learned the Ice Reach Coven created a storm ritual for that vampire. That's something, right?
That's true. And we stopped that storm. My investigations have led to even darker corners, but progress has been made. Here, consider this a stipend from Ravenwatch. For your valuable assistance, of course. Now let's get out of here.
Alright, I'm gonna have to destroy something again. How about... I'll destroy apples.
I wish we could have learned more before. That's true. The Ice Reach Coven's presence in Western Skyrim concerns me. But we need to keep moving. The path down is through those doors. Outside, I'll point you towards Solitude. Go to the city and warn them. Whatever the Coven has planned, it didn't end here.
Aren't you coming with me?
Not right now. Other members of the Ravenwatch came here ahead of me. They'll be interested in the vampire we saw, and I need to get word to them. Besides, I want to follow the trail while it's fresh, so it only makes sense that you warn Solitude.
Tell me about Solitude.
We're in the hold of Hofengar in Western Skyrim. Solitude is its capital city, and the seat of High King Svargrim. If we can find any help against the Coven, it will be there. Head to Solitude and let the authorities know what happened here.
Alright, I'll go to Solitude and warn them about the Ice Reach Coven.
The Nords don't tolerate Reachmen in their territory. Once you warn the gods, I'm sure High King Svargrim will dispatch his troops. The Coven's threat is as good as done. But just in case, I'll tell my fellow Ravenwatch what happened here.
Those urns from Bankarai you mentioned earlier, what's so special about them?
As I said, my investigation began in an ancient burial site in Bankarai. Drogakin were using similar urns, filling them with remains. Most disturbing, the ash and bones belonged to a dark army that once roamed the land. The Grey Host.
Why were the urns here?
I have no idea. When I stumbled into this nest of Coven witches, I never expected to find a connection to the Drogakin and the burial urns. And that vampire we saw. There's something more at play than we know. We need to find out what.
Okay. Alright, I gained at least one level, possibly more. And I want to get Veiled Strike this time. Slash an enemy, dealing 3,091 magic damage. Attacking with Veiled Strike from the flank stuns the enemy for 3 seconds and sets them off balance. So this is basically a spammable right here. This is more of a spammable. It's something you can just hit over and over and over again. Whereas this is more of a dot here. Although I guess you can spam this too. Okay, I've got another skill point. I want to get Assassin's Blade next. Thrust a magic blade with lethal precision to stab an enemy, dealing 1,545 magic damage. Deals 300% more damage to enemies below 25% health. So I really only want to use this when an enemy gets low on health. Otherwise, I'll use number 2. So now I've got an ability on my hotbar from each of the 3 class skill lines. So all of them will level as I kill enemies and finish quests.
This way, my friend.
Ooh, that... Well, actually, that doesn't do anything. That's a shame.
The road ahead will take you straight to Solitude. Go. Warn Solitude of the danger. I need to make contact with the Ravenwatch. Once again, thank you for assisting me. Without you, I'd still be locked away. And who knows what damage that Herostorm would have caused. Follow this road east, and you should reach Solitude in short order. Until we meet again, fare you well.
Fare you well, Fenorian. And here we are, Western Skyrim. Beautiful place. Cold and harsh, but beautiful at the same time.
On your way to Solitude, traveler? Then let me show you my wares.
Let me show you my wares. Ash, clear water. I could use some of this stuff, but I really want to sell stuff that is worth gold. You see, a lot of this stuff is worth 0 gold. that is because you can craft with it. I'm gonna eat that crown fortifying meal. Those are really nice. You get them as daily login rewards sometimes. And it's telling me to use the way shrine to travel to the Solitude docks. So if you've never played ESO before, this is a way shrine. You can teleport to all these other places. Like we can teleport here and go to, well, this is where we are. What in the world? Okay, I guess that person's getting away. So if for some reason you have the Greymoor edition and you don't want to play Greymoor, you can stop right here and go anywhere else. Like, for example, you can go to Vardenfell if you want to do the Morrowind chapter. Or if you want to play Somerset, you can go there. On here, it's not showing an open way shrine, but that's because I don't technically have the Greymoor edition. I've got the Greymoor upgrade to the standard edition, but it's otherwise exactly the same. But this is how you can easily go anywhere else in Tamriel if you don't want to play Greymoor. But probably if you got the Greymoor edition, you want to play Greymoor. So I'm going to go on over here.
There's no time. Take this. Keep it safe.
Wait, what are you giving me?
Information. The Ice Reach Coven. At work in the west. Just need more proof. Go! They're coming!
Who's coming? The ones who attacked you?
Don't trust them. Only Lyris. She's...
Hold on!
You there! What did that fugitive tell you? Who are you? Another spy? What did this lying Easterner say to you?
Notice he says lying Easterner. People in Western Skyrim don't get along with people from Eastern Skyrim. So that guy that just died was from Eastern Skyrim. I was just going about my business when I saw that he was injured.
Assisting a fugitive is a crime in Hafingar Hold. Unless you want to find out how we deal with traitors and spies, tell me what he said to you.
Alright, I can either say he said something about the Ice Reach Coven at work in the West. Do you know what that means? Or I can lie and say he died before he could say anything. But this guy is being very aggressive, so I'm just going to cover up whatever's going on. I'm going to say he died before he could say anything.
Lucky for you. If he had told you any seditious lies and you decided to keep them from us, you'd have been in real trouble.
I also came here to warn you about the Ice Reach Coven. They're definitely at work in the area.
Don't start spreading rumors about Reach witches. You go panicking the good folk of Solitude and I'll toss you in a cell. And how is it you know so much about this witch work?
I was abducted by the Coven, but I escaped after learning their plans.
And my grandfather killed 12 giants with his bare hands. But at least he had the good grace to string a few of their teeth around his neck before he made the claim. Got any proof? Or do you want to reconsider making a false report, eh?
All I have is my word.
The word of an outsider isn't worth mammoth spit. Keep sticking your nose where it doesn't belong, and you'll wind up just like him. Mind your own business, or you'll find that Solitude doesn't take kindly to instigators and strangers. Go on. Just remember, I'll be keeping an eye on you.
Yeah, definitely not a nice guy. Alright, I'm gonna look at these papers that this dead guy just handed to me. A scrap of paper with hurried writing scrawled in a shaky hand sits on top of the pile. Brundled, the guards came asking about you. They were rattling their scabbards at anyone they could find. I'm scared. I hid your horse in the woods. I'll wait in the barn by the stables outside the city, but only for one more day. There's an official-looking form with an annotation. Declaration of Customs. Port of Departure, Sentinel. Port of Arrival, Solitude. Cargo offloaded. 3 barrels Oasis water. 4 crates Skaven housewares. 5 crates Thorstad pottery. 1 crate Sentinel canteens. Saw a crew member surreptitiously marking several crates on the docks. Hidden compartments? Couldn't get a look inside. There's a small, tightly folded note tucked in between the sheets. Left a surprise for you. Follow the directions. Where stones stand south of the lonely docks, in the shadow of their shelter, where the living trees keep watch. Alright, so a bunch of random stuff. So, I need to find the marked crate. The author of that note never did find out what it was. I need to meet the person that wrote him the letter. She said she was holding his horse for him or something, or she or he. And then follow those cryptic directions. There's the marked crate right there. Ash-covered fragments. Fragments of pottery, possibly urns, litter the bottom of a hidden compartment beneath packing hay. A strange ash or dust covers the fragments. You can also use these boats to go to different areas.
Solitude, not the place for you right now. We can get you to Dominion, Covenant, and Pact territories.
Yeah, I'm happy being in Western Skyrim. No thank you. Alright, that's it for part 1. In part 2, we'll continue to investigate the papers we got from this mysterious dying man. See you next time.